In this lesson, we will finish weighting our drive planes. So we now have an idea as to how to approach weighting the rest of the drive planes. So we have 8 in total. Let's go and get to work. This won't take much time at all. Alright, so once all 8 are selected, we'll now go ahead and add our skin modifier. We'll press the S key a few times. There it is. Alright, next, before we turn on vertices at the top, we first need to add envelope objects. Let's go ahead and click on Add. We'll search for bn_head. Notice how it's not case sensitive. We'll now go ahead and click on Select. Great, so there's the head bone. Let's go ahead and add the jaw next. bn_jaw. Alright, sweet. So now, we can go ahead and scroll back up to the top, turn on Edit Envelopes, enable Vertex Selection. Great. So again, we're going to make this really easy on ourselves by working 2 planes at a time. So starting with the upper lip, we're going to grab the points tied to plane A on either half. So we should have 4 in total. And these are the points closest to our midplane. Alright, great. So with these selected, we're just going to go ahead and take a look at their weighting. We'll head over to our weight table. Now, let's go ahead and switch our filter to selected vertices. And what's nice is that we only need to change that once for this skin modifier. If we were to work with a brand new one, we might have to go back and change this. But we've added all 8 to just 1, so no need to worry about changing that again. Let's go ahead and highlight all of our vertices from the Vertex ID column. Take a look, their weighting is at 100%. So should we change the weighting here? Well, no, not at all, because these should be glued to follow our head bone. Now, if we wanted to change the weight, how would we do that? We would go to the envelope object that has no weighting at all. Because you can see, if we tried to set the head's weight to about, let's say, 80%, 0.8, it's not going to take it all. But if we were to set the jaw to 0.2, now that weight has been redistributed. Alright, great. I'll go ahead and set the head's weight back to 100%, setting our value to 1. And there we go. Alright, so let's say we go ahead and take care of the outer points. So we'll grab all 4 of those. So there's the left half, there is the right half. Now, the values that we'll use, these are values that I've already figured out. It might be different for the character you're working on, but the idea is still the same. So for these points, we can go ahead and add influence to the jaw of about 4%, leaving the head at 96%. So let's go ahead and find the jaw, and we'll set our weighting to 0.04. Alright, great. Now, let's go ahead and test this out. I'll go ahead and close out of the weight table, turn off Edit Envelope mode. We'll grab our jawbone. Let's grab our Rotate gizmo, and let's make sure our pivot mode is set to Pivot Center. If we have it set to Selection Center, you might notice that all planes start to shift, even the ones that are glued to the head bone. But remember, what counts is Pivot Center, because this is how we'll actually control the jaw. So you can see how we're getting some nice pulling from the points that we have weighted. Alright, great. So that finishes up the planes that are closest to our midplane. Let's go ahead and take care of the B planes to finish up the upper lip. So with those selected, we'll enter back into Edit Envelope mode. We'll grab the points closest to planes A on either half. So with those selected, we'll now go back to our weight table, and we can weight these to about 90% coming from our head bone. So that means we'll need to go to the jaw and set that to 0.1. Alright, sweet. How about the outer points here? Let's go ahead and grab all 4 of those, and we'll set this to about 83% or so from the head bone. So we'll go ahead and grab our vertices, we'll go to the jaw, and set it to about 0.17. Alright, sweet. And what's nice is that we can basically use the same weighting for the planes that are tied to the lower lip. We might change it up just a bit, but we'll basically be using the same values. And if we need to change any of these values, we can do so easily. So after we have skinned our mouth to follow these envelope objects, if we realize that, hey, our weighting is a bit off on these drive planes, no worries, we could always come back and easily change that weighting. Alright, so let's go ahead and get to it. We'll now go ahead and turn off edit envelope mode. And again, we'll start with the A planes on each half, this time for the lower lip. We use the same weighting for our outer points. So again, that's going to be about 96%. This time going to the jawbone. Let's head back to the weight table. We'll go ahead and highlight all of our vertices. And take a look. Here, we're going to need to set the jaw to about 0.96. Great. So that takes care of our A planes. Let's go ahead and take care of B next. Go ahead and grab those. Enter back into edit envelope mode. We'll grab the points closest to our A planes. Oh, and I'll make sure that we have plane B selected on the right side. There we go. Alright, so these points will be weighted at about 90%, as we've done before. So go ahead and set this to about 0.9, coming from the jawbone. Now, how about our outer points? Here, I found that 80% instead of 83% worked best. But if we ever need to change that, it's very easy to do. So let's go ahead and set the jaw to about 0.8. Alright, sweet. So I think we're finished. Let's go ahead and test this out. If we were to grab that jawbone and start rotating it, and I'll set the pivot mode to pivot center, you'll see that we get this really nice looking fall off on our planes. And take a look, there's actually one plane that needs to be adjusted, or a few of those. Alright, so these points here should be weighted 100% from the jaw. I bet if we were to take a look at their weighting, they have 100% going to our head bone. But the rest of the planes look great. Take a look. Can't wait till we actually skin to these. Alright, let's go ahead and use transform to 0 to bring the jaw back. We'll go ahead and grab plane A on either half. We'll go back to edit envelope mode, and we'll select our 4 points that we'll need to tweak. So with those selected, we'll head back to our weight table and take a look. Yes, their weighting is been set to the head bone at 100%. So that means we'll just need to go ahead and transfer that over to the jawbone. We'll go ahead and set that to 1. And now, when we start to go ahead and move that jawbone, everything should look great. So I'll start to rotate, and there we go. Alright, great. So, now that we have finished with this task, in the next lesson we're ready to constrain our helpers to our drive planes.